This is a nuclear reactor, but it wasn't built by humans, and it's not new. In 1972, scientists stumbled on something deep in Africa that shouldn't exist, a reactor that's been running for 2 billion years. And then, the story disappeared. Oklo, Gabon, a lush corner of West Africa with thick forests hiding ancient secrets beneath the ground. In 1972, French scientists arrived to mine uranium, one of the most valuable elements on Earth, the lifeblood of nuclear energy. They expected high-grade ore, but lab results stunned them. The uranium was missing its most critical isotope, U-235, in exactly the way it's depleted after being used in a nuclear reactor. This was no random mineral deposit. Something had consumed the fuel in the deep past. But how could a nuclear reaction happen naturally, without any human involvement? To solve the mystery, the scientists turned to radiometric dating, a technique that measures the decay of uranium atoms over time. The answer sent shockwaves through the research team. The reaction had occurred not millions, but billions of years ago. 2 billion years, to be exact, long before the first plants, animals, or even complex microbes evolved. At that time, Earth was alien, the air thick with carbon dioxide, the continents in different places, the oceans teeming only with microscopic life. A nuclear reactor in that world shouldn't exist, and yet, the evidence was undeniable. To understand the impossibility of Oklo, imagine how a modern nuclear reactor functions. Uranium atoms are split in a process called fission, releasing energy in a chain reaction. This chain reaction must be controlled. Too fast, and it melts down. Too slow, and it stops. Engineers use moderators like water to slow the reaction, allowing it to run steadily. Yet deep under Gabon, nature had somehow built the same system. Uranium fuel, water flowing as a moderator, and surrounding rock acting as containment. The design was eerily similar to reactors built by humans. Billions of years later, the scientific consensus is that Oklo was a once-in-a-planetary lifetime geological accident. 2 billion years ago, natural uranium contained more U-235, about 3%, enough to sustain a chain reaction. A lucky combination of geology allowed groundwater to seep through the uranium deposit, slowing the neutrons just enough for fission to occur. The reactor cycled on for hundreds of thousands of years, heating the water until it boiled away, then stopping until more water returned. In this view, Oklo wasn't the work of ancient engineers, just nature's perfect coincidence. But not everyone buys that explanation. Skeptics argue the natural reactor theory is convenient and avoids uncomfortable questions. They point to the precision of Oklo's reaction, which remained stable for eons without melting down. One idea is that a long-lost civilization, more advanced than we imagine, harnessed nuclear technology and vanished without a trace. Another theory reaches even further, that Oklo was a fuel source for extraterrestrial visitors, possibly mining uranium for use elsewhere in the galaxy. Similar, impossible discoveries, the Antikythera mechanism, the Baghdad battery, fuel the belief that human history is far older and stranger than we think. When Oklo was confirmed in the early 1970s, the Cold War was in full swing. Nations guarded nuclear secrets fiercely, fearing that any leaked knowledge could help build weapons. Some reports suggest that parts of the Oklo findings were quietly classified, while others were buried in obscure academic journals. The public heard little beyond brief news mentions. The idea of a reactor billions of years old was too bizarre and potentially too dangerous to spread widely. By the late 1970s, Oklo had all but disappeared from headlines, remembered only by a small circle of scientists. Officially, Oklo is unique. The only known natural nuclear reactor on Earth, but whispers from within the scientific community hint otherwise. There are rumors of similar anomalies in uranium deposits in other parts of the world, places where ore is mysteriously depleted without human mining. Some researchers claim these sites were never fully investigated, or that results were never made public. If other reactors exist, it could mean that Oklo was not a freak accident, but part of a larger, hidden pattern beneath Earth's surface. A pattern we're only beginning to glimpse. Today, the Oklo site is silent. The reactor shut down naturally millions of years before humans appeared, leaving only traces in the rocks. Was it a miracle of geology? A 1 in a trillion chance that nature built a reactor by accident? Or was it evidence of something far more unsettling? That intelligent life, human or otherwise, existed long before we believe possible. If one reactor lies hidden beneath the forests of Gabon, could others be out there waiting to be found? And if we found them, would we even understand what or who built them?